This time on Woody's garage. That thing has no mama.
Well, this is what we dragged home. This was on Craigslist. The listing was about 2 hours old. I said, it's not going to be there. It's just a couple of streets over on the pond. I picked it up. 8 horsepower NOMA snow thrower. Transmission is, the wheels are locked. Wheels are locked, and perhaps it needs a carb cleaning. I was really lucky that a guy was there and helped me put it on the back of the truck. I wouldn't have gotten it on the truck with the wheels locked like that. I'm guessing it's going to be lubrication someplace, and it's not going to roll down the ramp, so I think I'm going to take off the bottom plate down there and hit everything with some lube and see what happens and take a look at it. I mean, I haven't even looked at the thing yet. Both shoes are totally worn out. The plate has never been adjusted. It's one of those things that the people use it and they never, do anything to it. I pulled this pin while I was there thinking that, I could loosen at least one wheel to move it, but let's take off that bottom plate. Well, there's a sneak peek. Yeah. There it is. Let's get the rest out of here. So here's a look. We got most of the gunk out of there. This is how much we move. You can see that chain moving, this chain not moving. The discs are not together. I notice it, whatever this thing is, might be screwed up too. Maybe these fall into that. I really don't know. But I'm going to hit everything with a little bit of lube right now. I'm quite aware this shouldn't be lubed, but it may get some on there just to spread it around a little bit. Alright, we sprayed everything we could see. And you see that the second chain, this one here, is now moving a little bit. And you can see that chain, look at that thing just buckling up. So let this stuff soak in, and we'll poke around a little bit. Now the bottom belt is for the auger, and that will move. This one is not moving, and this goes to a bearing that's right there, and I bet that's the problem with everything. That moves, it's not frozen. Alright. Well, right now I'm thinking it's that chain is that frozen that it doesn't want to move. Look at it. Terrible chain. The other one's nice and greasy. I mean, that could be holding the whole thing up. Okay, I'm thinking maybe a little fire. I get the oil penetrating a little bit. I have gotten a little more movement out of it. Hopefully it won't set the whole thing on fire. I really do think it's in the chain. Let me get some more lube on it, more heat. Yeah, a little better all the time. I'm going to goober it up really good and just eat lunch and let the oil seep in. Yeah, lunch is for wimps. Look at that. Still wouldn't hurt to let it sit though, let it sink in. I'll take a toothbrush with all the extra that dripped. See if I can work it in to the rollers a little bit. Get any crud off of it. Well, so far it's just like, you know, lack of maintenance. Back this way. Real stiff part right there. Yeah, it's the tightest part. Like $3 worth of PP blaster down here. Alright, now it's lunchtime. Yeah, back from lunch, and I just jumped in the truck and I noticed it has a master link. Somehow I thought this was just going to be a continuous chain. But we might pop that, we might not. Let's see how much more loose it is now after the lube has penetrated. Worked it a little bit. There's still one place where it doesn't want to go all the way around. Man, I'd like to get it out of this truck. You know, but I need to get it down the ramp too by myself. I'm going to take the hammer. Try to influence these links to do their job. When you think about a chain, there's just so many places it could bind up. So many surfaces that meet. Okay, we're gonna do this some more. Yep, one link wants to ruin the whole party. That's it right there. I think it's free enough to get it off the truck. Should I go down forward or backwards? Backwards, I gotta spin it around. I think backwards is the smartest move. Yeah, one tire's a little low on there. Alright, I've looked at nothing else, so let's have a look. See how bad the oil looks. I bet they never change that. Yeah, not the worst I've ever seen. It's got an electric start. It has a carburetor, and the carburetor has a drain on it. Let's see if there's anything in the gas tank. Bone dry. Let's put a little gas in it. You know something? I think I'm going to. The guy said it was a new electric start. I can't believe it. Oh, it also has a lighting coil, which is kind of cool. I find that little hole that's left over from the cover is good to spray some like WD-40 in there. So I'm going to get some of that in there, and we'll get some gas in there, and let's see if anything happens. Good shot. You missed. Alright. Putting a little outboard motor gas that was left over from the season. It's got a carb, a gas shutoff. I'm missing the knob for the choke, which sucks. I think that's on. I hope it doesn't leak. I didn't put much gas in the tank, so... Oh, we can always shut it off too. I forgot about that. Okay. We'll turn that on and watch it leak. Try the primer. Throttle seems to work. We'll turn that choke on, and then we'll hitch up the electric start and see what happens. Okay, the gas is flowing, I hope. Choke is on. Throttle is up full. Climbs a little bit. Saw smoke. Open that choke. Almost. Come on, baby. Primer doesn't really sound like it's working. A lot of debris around the plug hole. I cut out what I could, but looking into the piston, that looks really carbony in there. I'm not even going to see if I have spark. I'm just going to put, because I did see some smoke come out of the exhaust, I'm going to put some gas in there, because I really don't want stuff to blow around and go in the hole. Yeah, we got a dirty carb. The engine sounds good. Get some air in that tire too. One of them is pretty flat. Okay, we got the machine tilted forward. You can see the carb. It's got a adjustable main jet, and that also is what takes it down. I don't see any gas coming through there, and the gas was on. It's off now, but you should get a dribble, so it's not getting gas into the carburetor. Yeah, 7/16. See if we can catch whatever comes out, if anything. Ooh, that's kind of stiff, which is weird. You know, as you approach new problems, you think like what they could have done, like when I was taking out the spark plug, is the spark plug cross-threaded, or, you know, because this thing kind of feels like it is. That's a lot of resistance. As long as I can get it back in, who cares? Okay, I'll show you more when it's off. Yeah, it's a lot of junk. Main jet, really rusty. And look at the ball. And look at the float. Totally stiff. Yeah, I'm going to spray some PB Blaster in there and get that loosened up. And get this stuff loosened up and see if we can salvage this carb. I hope so. Yeah, that bowl does not want to move. Well, now it's moving. No, it's still not moving at all. Got some ATF acetone on the pin there. I'm going to try to tap it a little bit with a light hammer and a punch. See if I can move that pin out of there. Probably not going to be able to see this. Might not want to see it. Let's see. Don't want to tap too hard because the post will break. But look at that. I mean, the float is loose anyway. We'll get it out. Okay, we're going to take off this shroud. It's hindering. There's only these two screws on the side, and one here and one in front. And sometimes it's a game. Try to get it out of here, but maybe not. Well, it wasn't much of a game. Oh, and the ground wire I just ripped off. From here. Okay, now we'll see if we can get that out of there. And you can see why the primer didn't work. The hose was split there. We got the float off. It looks like crap. We got the pin and part of the needle valve. The spring thing that holds the needle valve in. This gasket might be usable. But the needle valve is like really stuck in there. Yeah, we got it out. It's a beauty. Got that little drench with lube. We're going to take a toothbrush and see what we can do to clean it up. Okay, I got this float needle and pin from a better looking carburetor, and I'm going to install those instead. I want to see if that needle feels okay though in the hole. If it doesn't move freely, then it's going to stick. It felt okay, so we put it in. Alright, it's back together, but I'll tell you, this carb is a piece of crap, and all the parts were a piece of crap, and I used piece of crap parts to fix it. So we're just going to see if it'll start for now. It's getting cold out, and I'd like to see it at least run today. I got the gas turned on, but there's no leak yet. Choke on. think that's enough. Tip it back a little bit. Got a good carb for it, but still no gas getting to it. Right now we got the gas on, and there's definitely nothing coming out of the needle. Let me take the float out. Another thing I failed to do is clean this slow jet here on the side. I'm going to take that out and spray some carb cleaner in there. That was, I tried to screw it in to see how many turns it was turned in, and it was just stiff. So I sprayed some carb cleaner through it. It did come through into the carb. It came out here. But this is the crap that came out. It was pretty blackish. But another thing we're trying to do now is to see if we can get gas to come out of the needle jet hole. So that's pretty plugged. I took this wire and stuffed it up there. I could definitely feel I was moving shit around, so it's clogged up in there. But I'm going to flip the machine back down and see what comes out of it now. Let's turn it on and see what happens. Take a leak. Oh yeah, it's really flowing, huh? I don't know if you can see it. It's a drop. Well, it's not going to run on that. See if we can pokey up there with the wire a little bit. But obviously, this is a serious issue. Yeah, that's not good. Well, meanwhile, the loop's gonna got that chain. Well, it's pretty good. Here's the other carb I got. I don't know how good this is. As a matter of fact, it looks like I took it off something, so it might not be good at all. But some of the things you got to look for is the screw holes here to hold on the outer cover, the choke control so that it'll work here, how the gas inlet is. You can see that one's on the other side, same thing here. And also the primer, which is also in the same place. So what am I waiting for? Let's do it. One other thing to note is where the governor is on the old carb to the new carb. They seem to have the same amount of holes and stuff like that, so I'm going to use the same one. So you like one over from the pivot point and one over that way. Well, we had a casualty that you usually have. The gas line just broke.
so dry rotted out. You can see the rust in it though too. And it had to be water. The water rusted and the rust just backed up. And honestly, I mean, if I'm going to try to use that carb, I should give it a good clean too. So maybe we will just stop here. And sometimes these are such a bitch to thread through, but you can use the old gas line to kind of yank through a new one. You know, although I've rarely had luck with that, but sometimes you got to take off the shroud and every damn thing else. Pain in the butt. Another thing about this hose is look at how thin the walls are in this. Now you go down to the automotive store and they're like, you know, twice that thick, which makes it even harder to get it through. I might actually buy some gas line for this, because that thin wall really helps.